involvement in non-habilitative activities, and it also includes habilitative activities where someone has learned the task and the task can be reinforced by continual repeat doing the task again. From the public comments that were made, we have reinstated the enhanced level of personal care. This is for individuals who have intense medical needs and require this level of care. Parents will be able to provide enhanced level personal care also. Enhanced personal care must be identified by the NC SNAP, and the plan must have clear documentation as to why the person needs the enhanced service. And that enhanced personal care, as it is now, requires that the staff are required to make some degree of decision that requires additional training and additional supervision. Direct care staff must receive initial and ongoing training as well as supervision in the tasks to be completed. The training and supervision must be conducted by the RN or the LPN. This has not changed from what is in the current waiver. I know as I'm going along here, and I did say this earlier, but as I'm going along here, if you have questions, please jot them down on your note cards. When we get through the presentation, we will be collecting the cards, and then we'll be coming back for a question and answer period. And if you need additional note cards, there will be people in the audience who will be glad to give them to you. The personal care grid. This is the grid that is used to determine the amount of personal care that a person may receive if medically necessary according to their SNAP scores. If additional personal care units are required because the participant's health or safety would be at risk without these units, they may be requested. There must be justification to determine medical necessity for the hours or units that are requested. Okay. Again, if the person's health and safety are at risk, additional units of personal care may be requested. There must be justification to determine the medical necessity of those additional units. We made a few changes to residential supports. Residential supports is a service that's provided to individuals who reside in a group home or an AFL. I was thinking that was him. I tried real hard not to read my slides, but you know when you write it because the stuff you really want to say, you think it's important, you put it on your slides, and then people say, well, you're reading your slides, and it's sort of like a catch-22. But one of the groups that we talked to before suggested instead of reading them, I sing them. I don't really think you want me to do that. You're probably safer with me just reading them, but if that's something you want, just let us know, and I'll see if somebody else can come up here and sing them to you. Residential supports is not intended to be the sole funding source for residential programs. There's been a lot of confusion regarding the residential supports definition. In the first draft of the was a definition that was called residential services. Residential services was well, personally, I thought it was a wonderful definition because I wrote it, but it was talking about funding individuals in group homes based on the number of individuals in the group home. Because we were under such financial issues, we could not afford to do this definition. We have gone back to the residential supports definition. Some people have been asking, can home and community supports be done with the residential service definition? It can only be done as the individualized day program. It cannot be used as the sole service. Residential supports provides a combination of rehabilitation and personal care. And there's 4 levels of the residential supports, as outlined by a grid. I would love to share with you the latest and greatest version of the grid, but as early as late as this morning at 9:30, I forwarded residential grid version 19 to all of my colleagues. Hopefully, by the end of the week, we will have something out regarding the utilization criteria for residential supports that will move somewhat away from the grid. But at this point, it's as of version 19 is being reviewed as we speak. One change with residential supports is AFLs, adult family living, may not be able to provide respite on the same day as residential support. One of the main issues here is that residential supports provide someone a place to live, monitoring where they sleep, personal care, that type of thing. It's very similar to the same service of respite. Not as intense, but similar. It's not like day supports, which is totally different, where you're doing a different activity in a different place. For that reason, we have been concerned that we are paying for the same service twice. And when I speak we, I'm talking about the global we here, not just we, the 3 of us. Again, what I say is that respite cannot be provided on the same day as residential supports. Does that mean that the AFL provider can't arrange for a vacation? No, as long as it's not billed on the same day. Equipments and modifications. Number 1, OCOM. The definition for OCOM has been removed. The purpose for the removal is that this service is already being done through durable medical equipment. The OCOM evaluations still may be conducted through specialized consulting services. This is not that much of a change because what has happened in the last waiver is that before someone could bill under OCOM, it had to be reviewed and identified that it was not on the durable medical list. Personal Emergency Response System, PERS. There's been wording put in this definition to look at clarity. The service requires that the individual has a 24-hour-a-day week response availability, similar to the commercials we all The service cannot be used to purchase a monitoring device that tracks the person's activities in or around their home. Home modifications. We've given you about 5 slides here because one of the things that CMS requires this year that we create an exhaustive list of what we include for home modifications. The equipment and physical adaptations to the participant's home allows accessibility to the physical home and within the home are required by his or her needs documented in the plan. It ensures the health and safety, enables the person to function in their home, and are of direct and specific benefit to the participant's disability. It cannot be used for items that are not attached to the house. It can be used for ramps and for fences. It cannot be used for locks. It does not include new construction. It cannot be used to restrict access, finishing basements, elevators, driveways, sidewalks, general home repairs. The limit for this is $15,000 for the period of the waiver, which is 5 years. The service is not for the convenience of the caregiver. It must relate to the developmental disability, and it may be used for fire safety adaptation. For instance, if someone should need a strobe light to make them aware that a fire alarm has gone off, if someone needs what we used to call a shaky bed that will vibrate to wake someone up if a fire alarm has gone off, home modifications could look at these. It could also, if a home needs a higher rating fire door instead of just a standard hollow door and a 2-hour fire code rating, those things are appropriate under this definition. This is the exhaustive list, and I think you can read most of it. Some of it is things that we've been doing for a long time, where, of course, we do bathroom modifications, installing handrails, grab bars, widen doorways, modify the existing bathrooms, shatterproof windows, lowering things for a person who may be in a wheelchair and needs better access, floor coverings for ease of ambulation. Fences require additional justification. Fences can only be done if the person is ambulatory and the health and safety of that individual is at risk without the fence. Also, the individual must live in a private home and is supervised by a paid caregiver, no more than 10 hours a day. The exhaustive list also includes video cameras to ensure health and